Hi friends, welcome to a rainy reading vlog. It has been raining all weekend and it's actually Memorial Day weekend, which I find that very ironic that we've had so much warm weather here in PA, like 80s, 90s, and then like the pinnacle of this unofficial start of summer weekend is 50 and raining. It's just funny. Mother Nature has a funny way of sending messages to us. But anyway, hello friends, welcome back to another video. I'm so excited to have you here today as we read The Vanishing Half. This has been on my TBR for months. I bought this way back in December and I just haven't felt called to pick it up and read it until now. So I started this on Friday, which was at the beginning of this reading vlog, and I got like pretty a ways through it on Friday. I got to page like 77 or no, 122. No, yeah, I got like well over 100 pages on my first day reading this, and then we also in the afternoon I went book browsing at the local bookstore. One of our friends came and picked us up and we just kind of like, you know, hung out and got some food, and that was kind of the afternoon on Friday. And then Friday evening I got another big chunk of reading done on this, so I was quite pleased of getting so far through it. And then yesterday, Saturday, was I got a lot of reading done yesterday as well. So I got some reading done in the morning, and my parents are actually visiting this weekend. They're staying at a relative's house who lives nearby, and I went out to dinner with them last night, so I went over to see them around 4. So I got a lot of reading done like yesterday afternoon before I went to go see them, and then came home after dinner around 9 p.m. got more reading done. So I got well over another 100 pages through yesterday, and I'm on page 243 right now. I'm on chapter 13, and my goal is to finish this by tomorrow, which is the last day of May. So I'm like crushing all of my reading goals for this month. I wanted to read 4 books this month, and I've already read 4, and I wasn't expecting to even start another. I was expecting to start a book and then finish it in June, but at the rate I'm going, I'm definitely going to finish this book by tomorrow because I am so enthralled in the story, but we'll get to that in a second. But so far for May, I've read 4 books. I've read Crying in H Mart, which I have a whole reading vlog on that's already up on my channel, Where the Crawdads Sing by Adelia Owens, and Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. I really enjoyed that book. And the last book I just finished reading a few days ago was Leave the World Behind by Rumin Alam. That book was really interesting. It was really strange. Like the writing was strange, but it was an enjoyable listen. So I actually was reading the book and also listening to the audiobook. That's been kind of my like strategy to read a lot this month since I'm in the car driving to work a lot of the time. And I found that I enjoyed listening to the audiobook of Leave the World Behind more than I actually enjoyed like reading it. It was really hard to like focus the actual text of the book versus driving and listening to it in the car. So I found that really interesting. Let me know down below if you've had any similar experiences with a book where you were reading it and simultaneously listening to it, and you preferred, you know, the audiobook over the actual like book itself, because typically I really like reading instead of listening to an audiobook, but I found it just really interesting that I enjoyed listening to that book versus reading it. But let me know down below if you have any similar experiences. All right, so The Vanishing Half by Bennett. I'm sure you've heard of it before. I've talked about it a lot on my channel. I just haven't actually like read it, so I'm actually excited to finally be reading it. But I'll just kind of give you a very quick summary of what it's about in case you haven't heard of it. I'll just read the inside jacket briefly since I'm terrible at summarizing things. Twins, inseparable as children, ultimately choose to live in 2 different worlds, one black and one white. So basically, it's about 2 twins who grew up and ran away from home at the age of 16, and then at that point in their lives, they kind of separate and go 2 different ways. The one twin ends up moving back to her hometown, which is a all-black southern town in Louisiana, and raises her daughter there. And then the other twin moved to California and is passing as white. So she just took on this story, this narrative that everyone, you know, believed that she was white. She passed as white, and then she's kind of living her life like that. So it follows those two characters. And then the interesting part, which is also in the plot, so I'm not hopefully giving away any spoilers. Still, although separated by so many miles and just as many lies, the fates of the twins remain intertwined. What will happen when their own daughter's storylines intersect? So that's a really interesting other piece to the plot, is that the daughters of the twins, their lives, they intersect. So what's gonna happen like once that happens? So the plot is really interesting. It's really looking at race, colorism, class, gender, sexuality, family, secrets, authenticity, like all these themes and subjects that I really enjoy. So combining that with the writing and the story and the way the timeline is, in the way the book's written, is just, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really sucked into the characters and getting to know all of them, and then how their lives are intersecting. I really enjoy the way the book is laid out. It kind of jumps in between timelines. There's like different parts based on years, because the book overall takes place from the 50s to the 90s. So you're jumping it through these different timelines and seeing, you know, each of the lives of the characters. The other really interesting I'm liking so far is that the book is reading kind of like a mystery in a way, because it is kind of a mystery. The family has secrets, and you kind of want to find out what happens. Like, I don't want to say like what I want to find out that happens, because I don't want to kind of spoil anything. I don't know if it would, but anyway. So I think that's why I've been so hooked on the book and reading so much, because I just want to know what happens. Like, I want to know what happens. So it's a real page turner, but it's not like a thriller or anything like that. It's a contemporary fiction. But I just really enjoy the characters and learning more about them. So I just find myself like reading, and like it's really hard to put the book down and really easy to pick it back up. Like last night I came home from going out to eat, and instead of like hanging out and watching TV or playing video games, I just like read for the rest of the night and got a good chunk of reading in. Yeah, so I'm really excited to finish this book. I don't know how much reading I'm going to get in today, because I am going to be going with my mom and George to the Asian grocery store, which I'm really excited about. It's going to be just the three of us hanging out at the Asian market, and that'll be really fun. So I think I'll take you along for a little bit of that, and then I'm not sure, I might be able to get some reading done tonight before bed. So I think that's when I'll get a good chunk, and then I want to finish the book tomorrow, and then I'll share my thoughts on the book once I get there. So welcome to Sunday, happy weekend, and let's continue on our journey.